you want to start using patterns, but you're kind of intimidated and you don't know where to start, well, this video is for you. I'm going to help you get started on using those patterns, whether you're starting to sew or you've been sewing and you're like, that's a little hard. This video is going to make it easier for you to start using commercial patterns or to even get started with PDF patterns. So first, what is a sewing pattern? It's basically a blueprint on how to make a piece of clothing. So blueprints for houses, these are blueprints for your clothes. Recently I learned on the internet that people think that using patterns to sew is cheating. It's not. Say it with me. Using patterns is not cheating. Everybody uses patterns. You get the same t-shirt from H&M or Zara, COS, wherever you get it from, they have a pattern for that. And it was likely based off of a pattern of a shirt anyway, and they just altered it. Everything starts with a pattern. Sewing patterns are great to help you learn techniques that you probably wouldn't have learned all on your own or even known about on how to put things together. And using patterns also helps you get out of your little box of things that you make or think look good on you. It is a great exploratory tool, especially when you go to Joann's and you get them for $1.99 when they're on sale. Okay, now that I've gotten that little blurb out of the way, let me let you know about the kind of patterns. There are two types. Commercial patterns that are made by Simplicity, McCall, Vogue, Berta, New Look. Those are all commercial style patterns. Or you have indie patterns, which are made by considerably everyday people or people who have industry knowledge on how to make patterns, but they're not Simplicity. This is what you'll typically get from a commercial pattern. It's in a little packet. It's in a piece of paper. It has nice professional pictures. It's got a size chart on the back, finished garment measurements, what you should be using, a drawing of the pattern, all on the back, and it's all printed. The instructions come nicely folded and factory folded, as it's called, because this is a brand new pattern. And the paper is a tissue paper, again factory folded. That is what a typical pattern looks like, a commercial pattern. It is very clear to see on the instructions what it is you're doing. It is written mostly pretty professional. There is a guide and a key on how to do things that they don't assume that you would know, but you would have to know in the pattern, like how to reference the fabric part from an interfacing or what the seam allowance is, a key for notches and other markings that are on the pattern. Then you have indie patterns. All indie patterns are not created equal. They can be made from a person who has great industry knowledge on making patterns because they went to school or whatever the case may be, or they could be made from anyone, literally anyone like me, who just made something and thought, oh, I could put this out. They can be a lot cheaper than commercial patterns. You can print them off on your printer at home or get them from a print shop or anything like that. So you'll always have the file for it, even if you don't always have the pattern. And I think that is a great advantage from having commercial patterns, because if you lose that pattern, if you cut off any of the sizes, that's it. You don't have it anymore. You gotta buy it again. I made a guide, a pattern sewing guide, PDF patterns from pattern makers that I think are reputable. Future me here. That didn't make any sense. So let me explain. I made a pattern guide. The pattern guide is free. Yes. The patterns are not free. This pattern guide is full of patterns that you can make this fall, winter, that are coats or shirts, sets, even a bag, whatever the case may be, that are not something you typically just find easily on your own. I curated this guide looking for some things myself and figured I could just make this little document for other people to get, and you would be able to find other pattern makers just a little bit easier and not just the typical ones that are already out there. I didn't want to reshare the same mood, this, that, blah, 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 over and over and over again, because you can find that anywhere, Instagram, TikTok, even right here on YouTube if you search it in. So I will put the link to that guide in the description. You can get, like I said, download completely free. You pay nothing. It was just something that I was doing for myself, and then I just put it together to share with you. Okay, back to the video. My first tip on how you can use patterns to get started sewing: measure your body. Without a bra, without any extra padded anything on. Your bust, your waist, your arm. In the link in the description, I will put a blog from In the Folds. It's how you create a bodice, which is basically every measurement you would need just in case when you are using a pattern. Even your legs. I will try to find another one that gives great measurements. Keep this in a notes app on your phone so that you always have it. You can refer to it when you're buying patterns, whether that is in the store at Joann's or online, because the size that it says is not always the size that you're going to wear. What you want to look at is the finished garment measurements. You may be a 10 in the store, you get a 10 in pants, a 6 in tops. I don't know because we're not uniformly the same size, but that won't translate when you're sewing. You could be a 12 or even an 8 in somebody else's size chart, and you make the 12 just off your bust measurement or just off your hip measurement alone, and now it won't fit, and you'll be very frustrated by whatever it is you make, and you'll never want to do it again. Look at the finished garment measurements, not just the size chart, so that you know which size you're supposed to make. You want to get familiar with the instructions. So with commercial patterns, before you buy it, I can take it out the paper, read the instructions, kind of see what's going on. That's not always possible with PDF patterns. So if you like the pattern, you buy the pattern, the PDF pattern, even before you print it. Read over the instructions, get familiar with what it is that you're doing, and watch the tutorial if this creator has a tutorial. Even some of the commercial patterns have tutorials, like the Nomi patterns or the Mimi G patterns. There are tutorials on YouTube. It just helps you to be more familiar with what it is that you're doing before you even get ready to sew, so that you're not like, what I'm supposed to do next, or kind of fumbling around. It reduces that. While you're getting familiar with the pattern, get familiar with all the little nuances of what it is. So what do buttonholes marking looks like? What do button marking looks like? What is the seam allowance? Even make little notes. I usually do this. I make notes, little post-it or whatever, on what it is I'm using on a piece of paper to keep this information in mind, so that while I'm going through it, I don't have to scroll all the way back or find whatever page it was. But I've made myself a little key about the important information for whatever pattern that I'm using. Sometimes that information becomes standard when you're using a McCall's or a Simplicity or a Vogue. But when you're using indie patterns, it's not that cut and dry. While you're looking at the instructions and you're getting familiar, what you should be doing is thinking about finishings. Sometimes the instructions, whether it's PDF or commercial, they don't actually tell you how to finish your garment. So this is the point in looking over the instructions, where you just check, is this a place where I need to stop and make a serge? This where I need to kind of clean up? Is it going to be shown? Is it not? Because it doesn't always show you that. And then you get done and you're looking at it and you're like, well, this is kind of messy on the inside. Make those annotations where in the pattern, if you need to, about what needs to be cleaned where, because they don't always show you, they don't always tell you, even the most professional patterns. Now we're getting to the work, and this is cutting out the pattern. A lot of times you'll have people tell you, cut out your size once you've gotten blah blah blah. No. Cutting out the pattern takes a lot of time, period. Cutting out the pattern and cutting out your fabric, it takes a lot of time. This is what you can do. Few of these things might take a few extra minutes. So, option 1, you can do a rough cut, which is what I call it, where I kind of just cut around all the pieces. If there are multiple sizes, do a rough cut and lay it on the fabric. And you can trace around that so you don't make any mistakes on what it is on what size it is that you're supposed to be using. It preserves all of your other sizes just in case you need to use that again in the future, or if you're making something for somebody else, you'll still have this in all the sizes. Option 2, you could lay some tracing paper, or sometimes it's easier to use like freezer paper because you can get it in a big roll from Walmart, Sam's Club, Costco, wherever, and you lay it over the pattern and you trace it out. This is helpful for 2 reasons. If you are in between sizes and you have to adjust between bust and hip, or shoulder and bust, or hip and waist, or from waist to knee, or whatever the case may be, whether it's a top, a pants, a jacket, this is helpful for you to adjust between sizes because, let's be real, everybody does not fit one size from bust to waist to hip to thigh, whatever. And you may have to do some of those adjustments. Using the freezer paper method by tracing the pattern onto the freezer paper allows you to go between those without messing up the pattern and having to possibly rebuy it all over again, or reprint it and re-put it together, whether it's a commercial tissue paper pattern or a PDF pattern that you've bought and you've printed at home or on a plotter. And the third option is to lay it down on the fabric and then cut your size, if you choose to cut all the sizing off. Cutting over the tissue paper that comes in a commercial pattern is not going to hurt your fabric scissors. It won't, trust me. It would be helpful if you kind of used some highlighter or something to highlight whatever size it is that you're going to use so that you don't make a mistake and switch lines. From experience, I've done that. Or if you're using the paper pattern, I would say have another set of scissors. Again, use a highlighter to highlight your sizing. Sometimes, especially in shoulders or crotches, plackets, it can get a little hairy when you're cutting out of so many sizes. You want to make a mock. No questions. Unless you don't have time, then go for it, babe. The mock does not have to be out of a boring brown muslin because it is not something you're drafting. I would say use it with a fabric. Maybe you just have something in your stash. Maybe you thrifted something that you would just give a try to see how you like this pattern, what things need to be changed, because likely there are going to be some adjustments. Even if the finished garment measurements are perfect, it's likely going to need some adjustments in the arm, shoulder, waist, whatever, to contour to your body better. And making a mock is going to give you, 1, a better understanding of the pattern. It gives you a little run through. 2, any changes that need to be made, you can transfer those onto the pattern or make note so that when you use the fabric you're really wanting to use, you won't mess up as much. Don't let that scare you though. It comes with the process. When you cut out your fabric, this is what helps me. Keep your fabric folded into your pattern pieces. So after you've cut it, kind of give it a fold, and that way your pattern piece is wrapped into whatever it is you cut, so you know what it is that you have. You know what your pieces are, you know how they're separated. Don't cut it, remove that paper, and now you're like, later when you come back to it, you're like, okay, what goes where? What piece is this? What's going on? I lost. No. That's going to cut all of your hoopla out, and you'll know where all your pieces are, what needs to be interfaced, what doesn't need to be interfaced, and you may lose them if you put them somewhere in the wrong place, but you're not just going to lose them because your pattern pieces should be wrapped in your pattern. Now I've got a few patterns that I think are pretty good beginner patterns, whether you've been sewing or not sewing. The instructions are alright. There are digital and paper patterns, but these patterns I think are good for you to start. The Zoe Cargo from Kachi. This is a PDF pattern. I think it is really great. You can hack it. You can take some of the pockets off if you don't want them to be cargo, but they fit really good. I think I've made them. They fit really good. She makes really good patterns. All her patterns come with a video that you can watch, and her instructions are actually really clear as well. Next is Simplicity S3006. This is a new pattern that they released for fall. It is another great pattern just to get you started on making pants, trying a zip fly. That little pleat thing is really cute. Gives you a little extra wiggle room if you need it. This pattern is Know Me, ME2093. I think this skirt is a very simple skirt to make. Again, practice on waistband, putting in a fly, the pleats, give it a little extra interest, and the off-the-shoulder shirt is really cute. You can make it in many ways, many fabrics, and I could see this being something when you have nothing to make or bored and you want to make something, you can pull that out. This pattern is called the Anora Sweater by Vicky Sews. It's fall, it's getting cold, you want a sweater. This is really cute. It gives you application on how to put a zipper and a standing collar. Drop shoulder is really nice for fall. We love a slouchy sweater. And you're using fleece. Fleece is a very forgiving fabric for the most part. That way, if you make a mistake, the holes won't show. You can seam rip it, fix that mistake. The next pattern is a Know Me pattern, ME2039. It's a cute baby doll dress. It's got two versions for sleeves. It's got a little poof here and a tighter bodice, which will help you learn to fit a little bit here. And I think it even has a zip closure, so you can work on those. The next pattern is also a Know Me pattern. Know Me, ME2049, a ruche dress. It'll give you some shape, allow you to adjust the length a little bit. You need a fun, cute little fall dress, probably easy to whip up a few times. Next, we have a McCall's pattern M8199. The bodice is the same, but you have a no sleeve option, a puff sleeve, or a long sleeve option, which you can wear spring, summer, fall, as long as you preserve the other parts of the pattern, or get it as a PDF. The last pattern is another McCall's pattern, M7978. It gives you, again, 3 options for tops, which is what I really do like about commercial patterns, is that if they have tops or skirts, they kind of give you a few options to choose from. Sleeves, variations, peplum, things like that. Yeah, you could just make it many times over and over. And that is one of my personal favorites about commercial patterns. I hope this video helps you and it kind of eases a little bit of that scary away from patterns, because first of all, you've already started sewing, so that's the first step. You're good. And you go, whether you buy this pattern or you go to Joann's to get patterns, or you go on Etsy, or you find something on TikTok, whatever, you get a pattern and you kind of just ease the scary off. Give this video a thumbs up, or even subscribe if you want to see more sewing with me, things I'll be making, pattern recommendations. Again, you can download the fall pattern guide for free. The link is in the description, along with the links to all these patterns that I recommended, or any resources that I think would help you on taking measurements of your body so that you do use the right size for a pattern. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.